What's up, beautiful people? It's Israel Izedo. I'm a filmmaker and professional colorist in Lagos, Nigeria. Today, I'm going to be giving you a very introductory tutorial into Dehancer Pro. Dehancer Pro is a film emulation plugin that, in my opinion, does way more than create cinematic filmic looks. Even if you're not going for old retro kind of looks or really stylized looks, this is pretty much an introductory video. Hopefully in the future we get to do more tutorials and dive into the details of some of the amazing tools that Dehancer Pro provides and some of the ways that we can use that to get really amazing results. When you're working with Dehancer Pro, the very first thing you want to do is to interpret your footage, and I'm going to show you some of the options that you have. If you come to display clip, this was shot on the red Komodo, by the way. So first you go to your effects panel, drag and drop Dehancer Pro onto a node. It gives you an already stylized look. If you want to clear that up, just come all the way down and click on disable all tools, and then it clears everything, gives you a clean slate to work from. Now, one of the ways you can interpret this footage, if you really just want to dive straight into it, is to come into source, choose camera, and then you select the camera, select the format. This was shot in red Komodo 6K. Yeah, and then you have this. It gives you a baked in image. You can adjust this to taste, but this is not my style. Whatever footage I'm working with, I like to create the grade, the look from scratch. So I'm going to come to this other footage where I have a basic color correction going on, and from here to here you can see that we've done quite a little work with getting the footage color corrected. So we're going to add Dehancer to this node, and then, like before, disable all tools. When we do that, to interpret this footage, I'm going to come to source and Davinci White Gamut Intermediate. Now, still on interpreting the footage, you can adjust the exposure compensation and tweak it to what you want. The temperature control, if you want this really cool or really warm, just leave it where you want it to be. Tint as well. So if you need to adjust any of this, you can just go ahead and work with that. I'm going to leave that plain. Now, one of the things that I like to adjust pretty much in the early stages of working with Dehancer is the output value. And this lets you adjust how much effect your adjustments in the different tools in Dehancer Pro affects the footage. I'll leave this at around 65. Once we have that, I'm going to come to my film profile and enable this, and straight off you see just how much difference this makes. If you come into the film profile, you have tons of different film profiles that you can just choose and tweak to your taste. Really cool color profiles that you can play around with. And then push and pull, in my opinion, lets you adjust the overall intensity of the look. I'm going to be going with Fuji Color Pro 400H for this one. You can pretty much go with anything you want as long as it fits the look that you want to achieve. If you come down to your film developer tool, what your film developer lets you do two things. One, it lets you enhance the film profile you already imputed. Second thing it does is to let you sort of create your own film profile from scratch, as it were. So you enable this and you can tweak the contrast, the taste. You can see all of the adjustments it's making in my parade. You can really push this, whatever you want, really. Boost the color, take the color down. I'm just going to boost the color a little bit. But one of the things that really intrigued me about the film compression tool is how you can use it to adjust the highlight roll-off in your footage. Pull back detail in your highlight and just give it a soft, silky roll-off. I'm just going to play around with this and let you see what I mean. Just pay attention to the background. If I toggle this off and on, see how much we've pulled in that silky highlight roll-off. We've pulled back details in the highlights, and it's just a beauty to look at. Now, what expand does is it allows you adjust the two extremes of your footage, the black point and the white point. It's really just the two ends of the wheels in your HDR palette brought together as one tool for you to quickly adjust. So if you enable this, you can adjust the black point and the white point. Now, if you look at this image, as I push parameters that affect the background, the subject is getting darker. That can easily be adjusted by playing around with the magic mask or working with the qualifier tool. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. What I want to concentrate on is letting you see how this affects your overall image, especially with regards to blown out highlight and, getting that really silky highlight roll off in your image. The print tool gives you more options for stylized looks. You see the difference this makes. We can tweak this to taste, tonal contour, saturation. Another amazing tool is the color head. This lets you play around with the YMC colors individually or grouped up together. It also helps you adjust individual tonal values in the shadows, the midtones, and the highlights. Now what we're doing is as basic as it gets, but you can see just how much difference this makes already. We're not creating a really crazy stylized look, but you can see just how much difference this makes already to your footage. Now when you come to film grain, this gives you the option to choose different kinds of film grain for your footage and lets you adjust how much of it is in the footage depending on the kind of look you're going for. Now, the halation and bloom tools are tools that let you add that glow to your footage, gives it that nostalgic retro vibe. However, these are tools that you can play around with if you're going to create a dreamy look or you're shooting a love scene, a scene that you want to evoke some kind of soft emotions, I should say. The halation and bloom tools are tools that let you do that very, very easily. The overscan tool gives you some really cool options to play with. Again, I'm just going to play around with this tool and let you see some of the things that you can pull off with the overscan tool in the Dehancer Pro. Then you have the vignette tool. This lets you add really cool vignettes to your footage. Then when you come to the monitor, this gives you information on parts of the footage that are clipping. I mean, you can see that in the scopes in the parade, but showing you exactly where it is clipping really just helps you when pulling back. So now I say this, I can come to the log and then just, if I want to pull back that detail, then we can turn on false color. And just to give you perspective into how much the Dehancer Pro has helped in pulling back detail in the shadows, I'm going to turn on and off some of these parameters for you to see. So there you have it. You see how much difference that makes. Now when you're done, if you'd like to save this as a lot, you can come down to the lot generator, lot size 33 cube, and then you save. and then you've exported all what you've done in Dehancer Pro as a lot. Really, really helpful. Now, even though we didn't set out to create a specific look, we're just going through some of the really amazing tools that Dehancer Pro have made available for us. You can see how much of an effect this has. The final thing I'd like to do, like I mentioned earlier, is to add a little detail to the subject herself so she stands out from the background just a little bit more. I already have this done, but I'm going to reset node and redo it so you can see. I'm going to go to my qualifier tool. Just a little push to separate the subject from the background, give her a little kick of light, and there we have it. This is the difference again without Dehancer, and this is Dehancer with just a little push. And then again, like I mentioned, you can come down to the film profile and adjust this, and you have lots and lots of options to tweak this to taste. You have some really, really stylized options here. So there you have it. This is just an introductory video to Dehancer Pro. If you would like to get Dehancer Pro, I would like to state categorically that I 100% recommend Dehancer Pro. It's a really fantastic plugin. And there are different ways that you can use Dehancer Pro to affect different aspects of your color grade, even if you're not going for a retro look. I think Dehancer Pro is one of the most underrated plugins out there, and I 100% recommend it. If you're going to go ahead and get the Dehancer Pro plugin, you can use the promo code Israel Eziedo to get 10% off your purchase. Again, do let me know in the comment section if you want more tutorials on how to create different stylized looks in Dehancer Pro, especially if you work within the African film market, particularly in Nollywood. Do not forget to like this video, subscribe, and click on the notification button. Until next time, stay creative and stay blessed.